And as we come on to the PGA Championships now, it is going to be one of those courses where you have to be patient this week, innit?
Yeah, well, judging on some of the past scores around there, which we'll come on to, it's like it's scary.
Yeah. Oak Hills Country Club then for the second major of the year, the PGA Championships.
Already 2 majors down nearly. It's like it's scary, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's only August the season finishes. It's only 3 months away.
I know, it's like, what?
And then we're done on a PGA, obviously, the DP World
Yeah.
Total. Carry on. I know we've got the newly announced
fall
season for the PGA Championship, but again, all changed next year. But last time it was at the Oak Hills Country Club. Jason Duffner won 2013. He shot 7 under course record before eventually winning with a score of 10 under.
Yeah,
which is unheard of for this place. It can get really tough.
Well, the year before, not the year before, but the time before, no, AJ Haas won with 7 over.
Yeah.
So, like, and it's mad, and but they've fully reconfigured the golf course as well. It was going to play totally different from 10 years ago. They've added 260 yards, changed all the greens and changed the bunkers as well to make them deeper. So you might see a lot of like sideways chipping out.
Well, that's it. You've got that to contest with. They've strategically placed the bunkers for the bigger hitters as well. So it's already a long track. We know that.
And the rough.
The rough's up. You've got a new drainage system on there so they can increase the pace of the greens. And what you've just mentioned there, the elevation and the slopes that they've put on, there's a lot of runoff areas now. So if they do make those greens hard and fast with the drainage system, you could see a lot of good shots being punished with the runoffs, and then obviously very reliant on the short game.
I hope there's no pin positions like that NCAA one, but it's well, emphasis on short game as well, especially it's missing in the right spots as well, and also hitting the fairway, because not so much length but just fairways hit, because it'd be so much easier to control the ball and keep it safe, because like round the green, it's like I've seen a video, this fella drops the ball and it's literally goes in from there and it goes down like he puts his whole finger in. It's up to like his knuckle or past his knuckle.
I don't know. You say
it's dangerous.
I've gone a bit different. You say it's not about distance. I get what you're saying with the, they have strategically placed the bunkers, the roughs up, so there is a premium for hitting the fairway. But the further back you are with those slopey greens,
obviously further up there's better, but they've funneled all the fairways down to like a 25-yard gap at some point to where the longer this is going to be.
Yeah.
So it's like really punishing the bigger this is, all really rewarding them, because obviously if you're in the fairway, you're flying around here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I've gone this week for. Before we go on to that, we've got there's 2 par 5s on this course. They both measure over 615 yards. I think there's 8 par 4s that are over 465 yards. So like you say, accuracy is key because of how difficult it is if you do miss. But there's also they just got to play a key part. So I've gone overall strokes gains off the tee, which takes into account distance and accuracy. I've gone approach from over 200 yards, bogey avoidance, because as I mentioned before, being patient round here is going to be critical.
Yeah.
And the final one, scrambling, because of these runoffs and because of there's going to be some good shots that are going to be punished. You're going to have to rely on your short game a lot, chipping and putting and getting up and down from sometimes some difficult spots with high elevation. So
I've done the sort of the same thing. I've gone for like approach to the green, and I've gone for driving accuracy, and I've gone for greens in regulation.
Okay. Yeah. So accuracy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think hitting greens around here is key. That is a massive key, because the rough is just a joke.
Should we do it then?
Let's get into it.
So 245 points I got last week.
Wow.
Week before I got 60. So I'm on 305 points. I think the only person beating me is Richard Healy going into this final week.
Really?
But this week we've got because it's major championship week, we're going to be giving away a £50 appear on gift card to the lowest point scorer. We're also adding an additional prize for the winner this week, which is going to be 12 TP5 golf balls, tailor-made golf balls. So they'll be added to the prize for the winner. Yeah. So it's nearly £100. Depends on where you get your TP5s from. £100 worth of prizes.
Sport anyone would be made up with all that, like, anyway.
For your first place, yeah. So a lot riding on this week, because this is also the final week of the May order.
Right, yeah. So it's like double prizes.
This is it. So if you win it all this week, you could be walking away with £50 cash, £50 appear on gift card, and 12 brand new TP5 TaylorMade golf
Not
balls.
bad for £4.
There you go. Second place will also win the second place overall for the May Order of Merit will also win £30 appear on gift card. So plenty of prizes to give away. There's still time for people to just sign up and play this weekend. There's plenty of points to play for from now until the end of the season. We've still got 11 game weeks, with 12 including this week to play for. So plenty of points for the overall as well. And you can still get included in the June, July, and August monthly order of merits, which you've just mentioned there. Then, so
yeah, man.
Straight into it. Pot one.
Go on. Do you want me to go? Or are you gonna go?
Well, I know yours is
Tommy Fleetwood, 51st in the world, 51st in the FedEx. Sorry, 23rd in the world. I didn't realize he was 23rd in the world. Did you?
Yeah, I had a.
I knew he was rounding about that, but I thought he'd be
a
bit lower, me, for some reason.
Lower,
like further down, yeah.
Yeah.
Like 30 odd.
Yeah, he wasn't he? I think he had
a couple of good finishes.
He had a couple
lately,
of top tens, hasn't he?
Yeah. So 60-1 he is, and it's obviously Rory. Rory's a member here, isn't he, as well? So Spieth going for the Grand Slam. It's like there's loads of like things that were steering me because I made a big statement about picking Tommy. I thought I'll have to go with him, but his stats do back up as well. It's like his 9th strokes gained, and he's 66 off the tee, which are not the best, but 21st,
66
strokes gained off the tee, yeah, and he's 72nd in total driving. So mediocre really for pot one, but his 21st strokes gained approach, 21st putting, but then he's 168th in greens and regulation. So if he just sharpens his ball striking up a little bit, I think he's going to have a chance. I know that's
just goes against every stat you've just mentioned.
I know. Well, do you know what the problem was? I've committed to Tommy.
Okay.
So I just had to pull it up, and I was disgusted when I seen that. I was disgusted when he was 168 in greens regulation. So he better be out there sharpening them irons.
I've gone John Ram. I mentioned it when he won Augusta.
Boring.
I mentioned it when he won Augusta. I think he's got the game to win all four.
Yes.
And I think if there's ever a time for somebody to do it, it's now. This course sets up perfectly for him. Stroke gained off the tee, 16th. He's 10th in driving distance, 312 yards. 3rd in bogey avoidance. He's only made 11.25 bogeys all season. He's 1st in birdie average. 4th in approach, over 200 yards, averaging 47 foot. And he's 28th in scrambling, 65.5% of the time. But again, in his defence, he's 2nd in greens and regulation, so he doesn't miss many greens anyway.
I thought he was 1st in greens regulation.
He was, but he's 2nd now.
Who's 1st, Scheffler?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my pot 2, I've gone with Brendan Steele. So I know he doesn't hit it that far. 161st in the FedEx, 141st in the world, 250-1. Strokes gained 74th, but his strokes gained off the tee, he's 22nd. He's 11th in total driving.
He's always been accurate, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's 12th in approach, 4th in greens and regulation, and he's 4th in proximity as well.
Yeah, he's very accurate. Yeah.
So if he's that accurate, and if he, I listened to an interview with the head pro at Oak Hill, and he was talking about where he funneled in the fairways, like I was mentioning there. Some of them are going to be 25 yards wide. So these players who obviously he doesn't hit it far any week, so he's used to it in longer clubs in, and he's still 4th in greens and regulation. So he's just adapt to his game to hit 5 irons instead of wedges or something. It's just like, you know what I mean?
Well, actually, he's used to being so far back, and these courses are set up 7-5, 7-4.
Yeah.
Every week, you know, he's going to be used to going in with, like you say, 5, 6, 7 irons. So probably if his proximity is 4th, he's obviously very accurate.
And his greens and regulation, so he's my boy.
It could be a good one because, you know, if some players do adopt the approach of not going towards those funnels and laying a bit further back, these players aren't used to hitting those irons into greens. They're used to hitting wedges, 9 irons, 8 irons. So it could impact them. Yeah, you could see Brendan Steele have a good week.
I would like that.
I wouldn't.
Who you gone for?
Brian Harman, I've gone for.
All right, he's another papa.
Yeah, he is. And I was worried about the distance because I was.
Honestly, the way that fella was talking and he was saying about the score, he was like, I'd be surprised if it was double digits under.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's all about patience, isn't it? So, not making too many.
It's going to be the hardest major.
Yeah, definitely. He's 17th in strokes gained off the tee. He's 6th in bogey avoidance, so doesn't make many mistakes. Brian Harman. He's 5th in scrambling. He's 67.55%. Like I mentioned there, it does worry me his distance. He averages 294 yards. So I wouldn't say he's a papa, but he's 7th.
Well, tour average is 297, isn't it? So he's still close to average,
exactly,
isn't he?
Yeah. So 7th in accuracy, he's just under 70%. So, the way I've looked at picking Brian Harman is he might be a bit further back, but even if he does miss the greens, he's 5th in scrambling anyway. He's 6th in bogey avoidance, so he's not going to be making many big numbers. And he's 21st in greens in regulation. So if you consider all of those statistics, even though he's going to be a bit further back, his game is well suited to a course like this.
Yeah, no, it's as I just said then with that. I can't remember the guy's name who's the pro. It's evaded me, but he literally said, honestly, since what Bryson done at the US Open, he's like they've really, really put an emphasis on over that 300-yard mark of really getting the rough up and making it more difficult to bomb and gouge.
Yeah.
So
pot 3 then.
So pot 3, I've gone for Emmanuel Grillo, 54th in the FedEx, 78th in the world, 300 to 1. Coming off a run of a few good results as well, 7th at the RBC, 5th in Mexico, 23rd at the Wells Fargo. His greens in regulation, 35th. Driving accuracy, he's 51st. Total driving, 28th, 43rd in approach to the green. And strokes getting total, 77. So he's around about that middle of the pack sort of thing. So a bit of a better week. Could see him up there, top 20, but for pot 3, that's all you want, isn't it?
And I think this week especially, like pot 3 and pot 4, it is going to be very reliant on how many mistakes they don't make.
That's it.
Because if you start racking up big numbers, it's going to be over par the cut, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you just need to make sure that you're not too far away.
What do you think the winning score will be?
Well, I think because of the talent of these players these days, like how well Rahm and that are playing, I think you could get a 13, 12, 13 under me.
Do you? See, I'm going to go out on a whim here.
Go on.
Because of the weather.
Yeah, I suppose
I'm going to say
it's bad, isn't it?
Level par is going to win this week.
Oh, level par.
Level par.
Interesting. Do you know what? The course has got that in it. It just depends. The first 2 days, weather's okay, but the weekend, it's lashing down.
See, I think it's going to be like
New York as well.
It's cold. It's May. The rough's stickier. The rough's growing bigger. The way they set it up with the bunkers, I think that like someone will get ahead. I think like a Rahm or a Scheffler maybe, or like a Tommy will have a good few rounds.
7 unders the course record, so nobody's going like 8, 9 unders, are they?
Yeah, so I'm thinking if they have a little 2 under, 3 under, gets a 5, and then have a little 2 over, 3 over, and they get it back to level. Yeah,
interesting. Do you know, we haven't seen a tournament like that for a while. It would be good to watch, I think.
I know, it makes it... Remember me and you used to have this argument, I was saying I like birdies, but now we've seen enough birdies, haven't we? So let's see a bit of grind out of them. Yeah,
let's see them struggling. Yeah.
I mean, like, we could sit here next week and it would be 25 unders. It's like, what's going on there? But
well, that's the talent of them. They can go out and they could probably rip this up.
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me if John Ram goes 6 under, 6 under, 6 under, 6 under, and wins
shoots
it by a million.
16 under.
Quick math.
Go on then.
Adam Schenk.
Right.
Yeah. Strokes gained off the tee 97th. So not the best, but it was in green. So that's a positive. Average off the tee is 305 yards. So he's got the distance to compete here. 58th in bogey avoidance, which is in the top half. So again, another one who doesn't make that many mistakes. 29th in scrambling. He's 65% up and down. And but what also made me look at him, because it was between him and Grillo. I did look at Grillo,
right, okay,
and I was comparing them both. But with Schenk, he's 11th in scrambling from less than 10 yards, 95.5% of the time he gets up and down from inside 10 yards from the pin. So that
10
was
10 yards. I think I'm 95% from 10 yards.
You're definitely not. You can't even 2-putt from 9 yards.
Well, that's what I mean. When I've got my chipper.
Yeah. So on the approach from 200 yards, he's 83rd, averaging 53 foot. So I think he's a middle of the packer. Be really happy if he makes the cut, but has got potential for a top 20, top 10 if he's on point.
Right.
Especially around there. So we'll see what happens. It's a tough one because the course is set up so difficult, and these players in pot 3 and pot 4, they're not playing the best. So
no.
Let's see pot 4. What have you got?
So I've gone for Luke Donald. I've had him on my pot 4s a couple of times. I like Donald because his stats.
Steady Eddie, any?
Yeah, his stats. I think so. There's 2 par 5s over 600 yards, isn't there? And
over 615, yeah.
Oh yeah, so Luke Donald is 2,500 to 1 as well, which doesn't really say much for like Paddy Power or Bet365 are not thinking very highly of him.
No.
But is from 75 to 100 yards, 50 to 125 yards, and under 100 yards, he's first in all 3 of them categories. Approach.
Okay.
So I'm thinking if he lays up on the par 5s, he's got a good thing because
he'll have to lay up.
Yeah, well that's what I mean. He'll have to lay up 1,000,000%. But obviously, something happens, he doesn't lay up, or even on the par 4s, if he has to chip out or whatever, is that good from them yardages that he could scramble it round.
Yeah.
And he's 29th in proximity, and he's 31st in strokes gained approach, and then he's 20th in putting, and he's 4th in 1-putt percentage. Right, so his short game is flames.
You need that
flame emoji.
Yeah.
So
you do need that round here, yeah.
You do. So I think all that, he's 70th in scrambling. All that's good for a made cut. That.
Yeah, I think so.
Who are you?
I've gone Trey Mullinex.
Right, okay.
I've never picked him before. Same with Adam Schenk. Never picked him. Strokes gained off the tee, 100.
It's mad that because last week you made a big statement about sticking with your pots and your guns, and then you got to win, and you're top point scorer, and now you've gone totally against it.
Yeah, but this is because it's a totally different track, isn't it? It's the difficulty of it.
Listen, I'm just going on what you said.
I'm top of the league, mate. Don't worry about me. Strokes gained off the tee, 112th. 15th in average off the tee, though, 311.4. So I looked at a lot of them, and Trey Mullinex's distance was what swayed me towards him. He is 157th in scrambling, so goes against the scrambling statistics. Nowhere near as good as Luke Donald, but
we're just a big walking contradiction, aren't we? Really?
No, but so he's still getting 57% scrambling.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
So the percentages can knock you right down. So, but he's from the fringe, he's saved. He's got up and down 25 out of 26 times this season.
Sick.
So if he does get them in the runoffs, you're confident that he's going to be able to get them up and down. He's 68th in approach from over 200 yards. So he's got better statistics than Schenk. In that, he averages 52 feet. But again, another worrying statistic for Trey Mullinex, which was making me think, do I pick him, do I not? Difficult pot 4 is bogey avoidance. He's 187th. And since he tied 8th at Bay Hill at the Arnold Palmer, he's missed 6 of his last 7 cuts.
Brilliant. Hope that trend continue. Long may that trend continue. Now that he's your pot 4. Sorry, Trey.
There's a couple of things because there's a couple of things there that got me towards Trey. It's his distance off the tee, the way he is around the fringe of the green, his approach from 200 yards, and the fact that he performed well at Bay Hill, which is a really tough track.
Yeah.
And this is a really tough track. Low scoring winners at Bay Hill. There's going to be a low scoring winner here. Maybe he likes the tough ones. I don't know, but. He hits it long enough. It's just whether he's missing 6 out of the last 7 cuts. You're obviously not ripping it, are you? So
no, but he's in there. He's in it to win it, isn't he? So
interesting one, yeah. So anyway, that's the pots anyway.
Yeah, perfect.
Looking forward to major number 2.
It's boss majors, aren't he?
Yeah,
nothing better.
There isn't really. I'll be watching every minute of it.
Can't wait
that I can. And we'll be back next week to chat a bit more about who wins. Hopefully, John Ram. Followed by Brian Harmon 2nd, Adam Schenk 3rd, and Trey Mullinex 4th.
Hopefully not.
But we'll catch you all soon anyway.
Ciao.